Welcome my dear students. I am Khujista Naurin Liza, lecturer English, Anandabhan College, Mymensingh. This class is for honors 4th year. Our subject is English. Today's topic is novel. I have started The Grass is Singing and I have taken already 3 classes on the Grass is Singing by Doris Lessing. Today I am going to teach you theme of The Grass is Singing, the novel Grass is Singing. Our lesson outcome. Learners will be able to say about the characters of the novel and say about the themes, and they can explain the historical background of the novel. This is the picture of Doris Lessing. This picture is of young age and this picture is of old age, the Grass is Singing themes. There are various type of themes here, but the main theme is colonialism. I will teach, take a class on colonialism in the next time. I think I should take a class on colonialism, but here I have explained different type of themes of this novel, different types of themes, that is taboos and truth, conflict within marriage, race relationship, domination and subjection, harshness of agricultural life, liberation and the failure of civilization. Taboos and truth. From the very beginning of the novel, Lessing depicts and sets up the tension within the Southern Rhodesian society regarding race relations. Here race relations is especially about race relations means the black and the white. Black the African, and the white our Mari, especially surround the notion of sexual relationship between a black man and a white man. The newspaper article reporting Mary Turner's murder speaks volumes more in what it does not mention. What is going on there, and that is prohibited by society, that is called taboo, that is explained here actually. Whatever the news was about the death of the white man or the murder of the white man by a black man, it speaks a lot. The background speaks a lot, though something comes in front of us, that is not much, but we have to realize the much in the background. So Mary's relationship with Moses, then in its simple statements of facts. Lessing depicts a world in which truths are not the immediately presented facts, but rather the dark secrets. So this is the dark secret which is called taboo, that characters are unwilling to see around them or within themselves, but they can feel there is something wrong or there is something going on that is not right. So significantly, Mary is the only character that is willing to pursue the sense of taboo to its forbidden source. So others turn away instinctively. So Mary cannot avoid this taboo. She has to face this taboo for financial circumstances, social circumstances, and psychological circumstances. Even we have seen something about gender discrimination also about Mary and Moses and Dick. So next, conflict within marriage, and what is going on in Mary and Dick. And for that reason Mary was just involved in a relationship with Moses, though that was not a mental relation, but that was only a physical relation. So much of the novel centers on the marital, sexual and intellectual incompatibility between the well-educated prudish Mary and the simple-minded Dick. So this marriage was a mismatch. Mary and Dick, due to their distance from the town and from neighboring farm, Mary and Dick only have each other for company. So Mary has none to get married, and Dick also he was searching for a woman with whom he can marry. So for that reason they are attached for their necessity. So they are surrounded by natives, but as non-whites, those natives do not enter into their social world, or at least they are not supposed to. They are not used to with they are not permitted to mix with white people and the society of the white people actually. Mary opens up the tight circle of her white domestic world by assaulting Moses, who later becomes the houseboy. So here there is a relationship. We have seen that Moses was assaulted by Mary in the previous time, but he has a scar on his face where Mary beat him, this Moses, So now this Moses become the houseboy, so he is closely attached with Mary, but Mary cannot tolerate him, as she cannot tolerate any black people, because from the very childhood her parents or her mother gave her a input that the black people are not human, they are just dirty, their psychology, and they are too much inferior from them. They are not actually, after describing all the thing, we can summarize that Mary's mother just give her a input that these black people are not human, they are too much inferior from the white people, so they should not mix with this black people. So from that psychology, Mary just afraid of, and actually she has a aversion about these black people, but for her necessity, or for the pursuance of Dick, she has to keep a black person, I mean Moses, who is Moses, to take care of her house. So to just unload her household work. So for that reason, his physical proximity and presence in the house she cannot tolerate, but continuously he just made her just dependent on him. I mean Moses made Mary dependent on him, because Moses is as a person, he has some common sense and he has a and he is also educated also. For that reason, it was too much easy for Moses to convince Mary just to tolerate him. But day by day, this incident creates a mental pressure or mental torture on Mary, but she cannot share with Dick, and she also cannot tolerate, but she has to accept it. She has no other way. But day by day, of the presence of Moses in her house, and there are physical, I mean actually mental distance with Dick creates a connection between Moses and Mary, I mean mental connection between Moses and Mary. So this creates his physical proximity and presence in the house, which is both container and synecdoche for the Turners' married life. So what Mary cannot get from Dick, she just got it from Moses in her relationship. I mean got actually physical relation or attraction for some men, that is created in Mary by Moses. So which is both container and synecdoche for the Turners' married life, gives Mary an illicit way of escape from the suffocation of her life with Dick. So there is a suffocating relationship between Mary and Dick, because Mary cannot tolerate many things, but she has to tolerate, and that creates a just psychological pressure on Mary, and so she just tried to escape from this relationship, or from this psychological torture, and she tries to escape from this torture. So she escaped it by a illicit relationship with Moses, though these also could not give her any peace in her mind. So now race relations. Lessing, I mean Doris Lessing portrays Southern Rhodesia society as founded upon the injustice of racial discrimination of the British colonialist whites against the native Africans. So there is a big gap between Africans and the British colonialists. So because they are white and they are black, this is actually a psychological game, I think, because when white people tries to dominate the black, they just put a thought that black people are inferior and white people are superior. This thought is just put inside the brain of the black and white also. For that reason, after some years, both are the sufferers of this thought, because white people tries to always dominate the black people, that also create a negative pressure on their head, and the black people just physically they are strong, but mentally they are weak, because they also thought that they are inferior and they are superior, though both are human and they have the same blood, they have the same red blood, and they are the same human being with same red. But why there is racial discrimination? So racial discrimination is the main evil. This colonialism is the main evil through which the white people can extract the financial capabilities or the huge amount of money or huge amount of properties from the black. So, this is a trap for the black people by the white people, this race relations. So, the farm, one of the backbones of the southern Rhodesia economy, is also one of the primary sites where whites and blacks came into a strictly regulated contact. That this is the land of the black people. As a colonialist, the white people are the owner of this land of the black people, and these black people are the what? They are the workers here, and they have to earn money by cultivating the land of though that is their land, but owner is white as the rules of colonialism. So, the farmers such as Dick is not that type of whitish, because he just a simple minded white man, or Charlie is not that type of man, commands his workers and even speaks the kitchen cafe they speak, but his wife is supposed to only have contact with the housewife. So, the use of the in the fields, that the separation of the house and the field enforce the material and ideological difference between the races. So, here is a clear picture of the race relations of black and white people, which is the main evil of this novel. So, domination and subjection. Here some of the realist import of the novel concerns the depiction of the farm system and the way the white farmer exploits his African laborers. Lessing also makes use of Mary as a character with a rich and tortuous internal life to portray the inverse. So, the perverse and guilty desire of the white to be dominated in turn. So, both of these relationships center on sexuality. So, either the absence of sexual relations in the clean separation of white women from black male workers, or the presence of sexuality in a woman who does not feel at home in her own house and wants to run out into the world. So, harshness of agricultural life. Although she grows up in a kind of suburb and spends her unmarried life in the town, Marie moves out to an isolated rural farm once she marries Dick Turner. So, this environment surrounded by South African wealth is both harsh and frightening in its unknowingly. So, why it is harsh? It is harsh for Marie because of the environment, because of the financial crisis, because of the social distance with her, with the other white people and the black people also. So, she cannot mix with the other white family because she is not that much rich as the others, because that rich white peoples, there are also class relations or class distance or racial discrimination, class difference actually in the white people also, because Dick and Mary are the inferior from the rich white people. So, they are inferior, for that reason they cannot mix freely with that white people. On the other hand, they cannot mix with the black people because Mary hates this type of black people, because this is the input of her mother in her head that they are not equal as the white people. They are filthy, they are stinky, and they are just inferior from the white people. So, she should not mix with them. For that reason, there is a pressure created in her head that she cannot mix with the other people. She cannot make a easy relationship with Dick also, because Dick is not financially capable of take care of her. They cannot take babies, so she cannot get any kind of close relationship with any relatives, or if she has a child, she can just get a more healthier life, but Dick cannot just allow her a child because they are not financially capable of taking care of a child. And just one by one wrong decision of Dick in about farming that creates a financial crisis in their life also. That is also a cause of their just failure of their marriage relationship. So, Marie arrives with idealistic sheltered notions of the charm of nature, but these are quickly dispelled and replaced with a loathing for much of her physical surroundings. So, the farmhouse, especially with its lack of proper roof, come to present the poverty of her life with thee. So, liberation. Two characters strive. So, two characters strive for liberation in the narrative, Mary and Moses. They are just striving for liberation. I mean, Mary wants a liberation from this type of life with Dick and this rural farming life. Unlike Dick, who has no particular aspiration, or Charlie and Tony, both of them strive to make money. Mary and Moses are both dogged by disturbing pasts and unable to see a future that promises anything other than more unpleasantness. So, this leads them to act erratically and transgress from socially ordained bounds. So, Mary tries to run away from Dick at first, and then later tries to escape within herself by giving up control to Moses. So, although we are not given much access to Moses' inferiority, so we know that he harbors a strong desire for revenge against Mary, from which he felt liberated once he killed her. So, Moses not only killed her, Moses also shows something big. Moses shows us that just they wants, I mean these black people wants liberation, and they are capable of ruling their own country by themselves. They are capable of taking care of a white lady, and they can do something with a white lady that who is his actually who was his ruler. So, Moses shows us something big. This revenge is not only revenge, this revenge shows the relationship between black and white and what the black people wants, and we cannot always suppress the psychology of the human. We have to just there should be a balanced relationship between both of them, and the white people should not think that they can do everything which the black people cannot, and they should not think about this, that the black people are inferior, they black people cannot think, they are uncultured, but they can do everything as like as the white people, which is depicted by the murder of Mary by Moses. Moses also takes a revenge on Mary because he thought that she cheated on him. She is trying to escape from him, and she is actually his property, I mean Moses' property. Mary is Moses' property. So, Moses cannot tolerate this. So, as like as other human, he takes a revenge. On the other hand, Mary is a subjected of sympathy because she is the sufferer. She is here just someone who represented the gender discrimination. What? Moses is a male. She takes a revenge on the female because female is a subject who is weaker than the male. So, in this case, all of them wants liberation, all of them they want money, and the male members also. And here Moses and Mary wants freedom from this disgusting life, and just she wants to get up from she wants to take something, she wants something from Dick which she cannot get. On the other hand, she wants something from the society which she could not get. So, she tries to escape from herself. So, what she has done, she just get a illicit relationship with Moses. She get physical just pleasure, but nothing more than that. So, on the other hand, Moses tries to get freedom. I mean, he just became a male and a strong man who wants a white woman as his mistress, and he thought that like other people, not as a native, like other man, he just thought that she is cheating on him, she is avoiding him. So, he took a revenge. Here in the final scene, just Moses took revenge because when police took him from the site, to the jail, in his face there is no just a depiction of repentance. So he was adamant that what has he done, that is right. On the other hand, Marie, for huge psychological pressure, she just finally she just become like psychologically sick actually. For huge pressure, different type of pressure, for different type of struggle, she just mentally she was sick. So for that reason, all the people here, if we just draw a picture from all side, we can find out that Mary is the sufferer and Moses also is the sufferer, though Moses just takes a revenge on the white race, and Mary is the picture of the white people after some days whom has to leave the African country and they has to go back to their own home, I mean England. So the failure of civilization. The European colonialist project in Africa as elsewhere was carried out the name of civilizing backward countries. This is the main evil thought which was created by the white people who tries to take the control over the black people and take the properties, take the financial financial facilities from the black people to make them inferior. While military and economically it was clear that much of the driving force was a desire for wealth and power. So this is the main reason for the wealth and power. The white people take this evil thought in their own child, and also it is in the black people's thought. So they are successful. So these contradictions produce societies that had to strictly regulate certain thoughts, above all the relationship between the colonialist and African colonized subjects, in order to not fall apart. So however, as in the case of Mary, a racist who goes from the demeaning and assaulting natives to giving herself up into the power of one. So this leads to a self undoing, not to mention the glaring moral self contradiction. So this is all for today, my dear students. Thank you. I will take I think I will take at least 4 classes on this grasses singing. After finishing grasses singing, I think I will start just the Westland for you. That is my favorite, one of my favorite poetry. I will teach you, I think, after finishing this. So now in this COVID situation, be careful and stay safe. Thank you. This is all for today.